how do we proceed when confronted with the unexpected? I'm Dr. Marcus Young from the Canadian Institute for Safety, Wellness, and Performance. We approach life with mental models to help guide our perceptions and behaviors. A mental model helps us understand why things happen, how it happens, and supports our decision-making. In research, mental models helps us conceptualize problems and overcome challenges, and it's developed over time based on knowledge and experience. But what happens when our mental models are violated? As researchers, a challenged mental model is a source of fascination, a potential source of scientific insight. I'll give you an example of how, as researchers, we can investigate the unexpected. Many years ago, a colleague of mine found that people working at high intensities were significantly fatigued and needed longer recovery time to resume work. This matches our mental model. However, they also found that people working at lower intensities were significantly fatigued and needed longer recovery time. At moderate intensities, the amount of recovery time was least across all other intensities. Since they observed that fatigue and recovery time was not linearly related to workload, but instead an inverted U-shaped relationship, this violated our mental model. If this phenomenon is true, the way we approach work design, including scheduling and work breaks, would change. So how did we approach this unexpected phenomenon? First, we re-examined whether the observed phenomenon was real or due to experimental artifact. This might mean reconducting the experimental study or reanalyzing the data. In our example, we found that the inverted U-shaped relationship was indeed unlikely to be merely an experimental artifact and more likely to be a real phenomenon driven by how humans experience, perceive, and process strain, stress, and fatigue in their bodies. Second, we assembled experts together to brainstorm on general fatigue and recovery mechanisms related to task load. Our brainstorming led to 3 potential factors that might have led to the observed phenomenon. Those were physiological, biomechanical, and perceptual. Third, by reviewing the scientific literature, we identified potential mechanisms and the speculated drivers that might have acted in concert to create this U-shaped phenomenon. Lastly, with new findings that challenge our mental model, we generated hypotheses and future research questions for the research community to explore in order to better explain the U-shaped response. When our mental model is violated, we take a pragmatic approach, and this is essential for scientific discovery. So what's the key takeaway and how may this apply in your life? Imagine if you were to implement an occupational health and safety program, and it doesn't work out as expected, or may even result in the opposite of what was expected. Be pragmatic, trust the evidence, explore why, adjust your course of action, and keep investigating, and be open to change.